teachers, my tech tip for today is going to be talking about Jamboard. You may be using it. You may have been like, I heard about that at the beginning along with a slew of 900 other things, and I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. So I didn't come back to it, but I am going to talk about it for 3 to 5 minutes because it's pretty cool. I've been using it with students in a music setting, but I definitely see how it has its applications in all settings. So it does integrate with Google. You can share it with students to use. You can have students make their own Jamboards that they can then share to you, is another thought. And you can use it to collaborate with other people who are in the Google ecosystem. To make you come to jamboard.google.com, right? There's a little plus down here in the corner to start a new one. I'm going to use this Untitled Jam as my sort of practice space one. I do have the app on my iPad, which is very nice because I get to write on my iPad, and it appears on my screen, right? So here's my happy face, yay. We have a pen that has some highlighters and some other things on there. We have an eraser, a point clicker. We have the opportunity to drop sticky notes, which is how I've used it with my students, where they move their sticky note around to do things. We can embed images sort of as a background. We can include some shapes, a text box, and we have this laser pointer. Side note, some of my boys like to use this laser pointer to play laser tag while we were doing a Get to Know You Jamboard, but it was okay because it made me get to know them. It was a good time, actually. And I'll probably do some footage at the end of this. I'll do a little fast forwarded so you guys can see what it was like when I was doing this with my choir students. A little chaotic, but kind of fun because sometimes classrooms are like that, right? And so if you have the ability to write, now if you are clicking on a screen, that's perfectly fine too. You can do that. You can draw with your mouse cursor. And you can write anything you need to write on there. So any type of notes and things like that, they can go onto here regular. You can also do this color code feature, right, which is cool. We have sheets kind of at the top of it, right? So you can do idea 1 is on sheet 1. And then on sheet 2, we want to do something different. And if you notice, my sheet 2 looks a little different because I have some stuff put onto it. So I actually can, let me switch to my mouse, get rid of this. We can embed an image, and this is something I'm using a lot in my music classes. I have, some staff paper that I just have kind of saved as a JPEG on my desktop. I drag and drop them over here so that way I can make it like a nice big canvas to work with and give my students some lines. And now I can use this to teach sight singing. I can use it to teach any type of music reading. I can go, what the heck is that thing? What the heck is this thing? What note is that? What solfege is that if we're in the key of C? And then, if we're in the key of blah, blah, blah. I can do all that kind of stuff, and I have some lines to work with. I could definitely see how a English teacher, if you guys have those cool mind map things, the kids could literally have that as their background and then put a text box over it and type into it, which they probably are doing in something like Google Slides. But it would be a good way to do a sort of interactive all class one, or a good one for you to demonstrate with. And then you can actually share it. So, or save it to share it as sort of lesson notes. So, so I would say I'm using it like this. I know math teachers, you could probably put your graphs and things like that, or if you have a certain, whatever. You know best because it's your subject. But, I have my sort of music things that I can include on each of these slides. And then maybe we go through this whole lesson like I'm going to do today, and we're going to talk about what sight singing is. And I have this whole lesson where each slide we go, what is it? And we put those terms. And then we go, here's how we do it. And we do some examples of it. And then at the end of that lesson, I can come to this more actions dot, and we can download it as a PDF to share with our students, or we can save a picture as an image if we had something that was really profound we wanted to save that way. Or you can actually just share it, but make it not editable by students, right? You can make it so that it's a view only. And then they could have this link to oh, that was Miss G's lesson on Friday was here. Go through all 5 slides and sort of see the notes that we took in class, and they have that as an example. And you have it almost like a snapshot of what we would put on our whiteboard, which I feel is really cool because sometimes we erase that whiteboard and it's the whole lesson goes away. So, yeah, I think it's a super cool tool for that. It is cool for having students engage with you. So right after this clip, I'll do the little fast forwarded clip of my students using it to play this or that. It looks really wild sometimes, so just brace yourself. And sometimes, it looks like that, but it was nice to have student engagement. Yeah, so very cool tool. Hope that it helps some people out.